So what exactly is the One Piece? Well, a lot of people think that it is a one singular thing, but I think it is not a one singular thing. It is a combination of things, because you need to understand the island in itself is a mystery, not the treasure. It is not as if the people are able to find the island but not the treasure. So therefore, I think One Piece is the whole. It is a treasure, but the whole island in itself carries a mystery around it. Like if you have watched Wano, in his journal, Oden said that when they reached Laughter, they did not just find the One Piece, but they were also able to uncover the truth of the world. What is the Void Century? What is the Will of D? What are the ancient weapons? Everything. So the island in itself is something from the past. I personally feel like that island was or is a part of the ancient kingdom that existed 900 years ago, of which Joy Boy was the king. And I feel like One Piece is something that I feel like One Piece is, I don't know, a piece of information, a very valuable piece of information, because you need to understand uh, something, that when One Piece was discovered by the Roger Pirates, yes, they uncovered all the truth and everything once they came, but they also laughed. So what it basically means is like, yes, there are all these secrets associated with the One Piece, but the One Piece in itself is something very wanky, something very childish, or something very cartoonish like. Because the thing is, imagine Luffy in Gear 5, he's all Toon Force. So the One Piece in itself is something very stupid. Like there are some people who suggest it's possibly the Bing Sake, but that is not something you would look at and laugh. I feel it's something like, Afro. It may be an Afro. That is a good theory. Or it can be something very stupid or funny. It might just be a drawing or something like that. I personally think that it is basically a drawing done by Joy Boy. If you remember how Luffy draws people, he draws people in a very funny way, and that is what Joy Boy did. He drew what he thought was correct, and he drew it on a paper, which gave it a very funny look. But uh, with that, there were also many other things that made the One Piece also a serious thing. Like if you remember, Rayleigh also told that the information that they gained that day was not enough to for them to make a move, and they had to wait for the proper time, which is Luffy coming into the picture right now. So I feel like, as I said before, One Piece is not a singular thing, it is a combination of things, and the One Piece treasure in itself is a very comedy relief kind of thing, where it might be an Afro or it might be just a stupid painting by Joy Boy. But the island in itself provides whole another thing of mysteries, or gives us answers to all kind of questions that we have had throughout the show. So once we reach to Laugh Tale, we will understand all kinds of mysteries and get all kinds of answers, and then we finally find the One Piece. It will be something very stupid that will make us laugh. That is what personally I believe the One Piece is. And you need to understand one more thing. When they reach Laugh Tale, they'll also be able to, identify the ancient weapons and find out where they are and how to use them, which will also help them to get rid of the red line, thus creating the all blue, and thus also fulfilling the prophecy that Luffy is the one who's going to destroy Fishman Island, because he will then bring them back to the sea. So that in itself makes complete sense to me, and that is why people want to go to that island, and that is why the Roger Pirates laughed, even though the One Piece was supposed to be something very serious.